Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Swing Torah. Today we're going to do Parsha Vayechi, and he lived, talking about all the brachas, all the blessings that Yaakov Avinu, that Jacob gives to his sons and some of his grandsons. So every Shabbos night, we bless our children before the Suda on Shabbos night. So it's interesting. So when we bless our daughters, we say, Yesimech Elokim Kesar Rivka Rachel Valeah. May Hashem, may God, or Elohim in this case, may God make you like Sarah, like Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. So that's obvious. That's the Amachos. That's the mothers. So of course we want our daughters to resemble the Amachos, the mothers. But with our son or sons, we say something really fascinating. We say Yesimcha Elohim ke Ephraim and Menashe. We say may God, may Elohim make you like Ephraim and Menashe, the two brothers, the two sons of Joseph. So why don't we say, may God make you like Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov? May God make you like the Avos, the fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So in this week's Parsha in Vayechi, we're going to see, we're going to see this mystery unfold. So Yosef at this point is the Melech. He's the king of Mitzrayim, and the Pharaoh says, only the throne makes me higher than you. But basically all the powers of the Melech, all the powers of the king were given to Joseph. So when Yosef hears that his father Yaakov, or as really the Torah begins to call him Yisrael now, because he was renamed Israel. So Yosef takes his two sons, Ephraim and Menashe, to see his father before he's nifter, before he passed away, to get blessings for himself and for his sons. So Yaakov does something really fascinating, or Yisrael as the Parsha calls him. He does something really fascinating. So let me see if I can get this right. So Ephraim, who's the younger son, he's standing on the left side, which is usually the side of din. A gavura is judgment and severity and self-control. And usually we say that's the strong hand. The left is strong, but we say that that's generally the side of Ra, because judgment and judging people and all that stuff is more the side of evil and bad. And then Menashe, who's the firstborn, is standing on the right side, and that's the sign of chesed, and rachamim, kindness and compassion. And we say that's the side of tov, that's the side of good, because a good a person can do is to be kind to others, have compassion on others. So Menashe is the firstborn. So then Yisrael, he does something fascinating. So he takes his right hand, which would be to bless the Bechor, to bless the firstborn, and he puts it onto Ephraim, but Ephraim's on the left side of Gavora and Din, of judgment, and severity and strength. And then he takes his left hand, which now the side of severity and din, and he places it on Menashe, the firstborn, who's on the side of chesed and kindness. And then Yosef's, no, father, you have it wrong. The reverse, Menashe is the firstborn. And Yisrael, Yaakov, he says, no, I know what I'm doing, son. He says, this is the way it should be. And they will both become great. But from Ephraim will become even greater. Even though he's not the firstborn, even though he's not the Bechor, he's not the firstborn, he'll become greater, because the kings will come from Ephraim. And eventually, B'ezrat Hashem, soon, Mashiach ben Yosef, the future king, one of the future kings, Mashiach, will come from Ephraim. So then he begins to bless them. And first he blesses, so first Yisrael, or Yaakov, he begins to bless Yosef. And the pasuk says, Vayivarech es Yosef, Vayomar, Ha'elokim asher hischalchu avosai lefanav, Avraham v'Yitzhak, Ha'elokim haro'eh osi ma'odi ad hayom hazeh. He says, and he blessed Yosef, he blessed Joseph. And he said, O God, before whom my fathers Abraham, and Yitzhak, Abraham and Isaac walked, God who shepherds me from my day of birth until this day. And then this next pasuk is a famous song that we sing all the time. So it's like, Hamalach hagoel osi, Hamalach hagoel osi mikora, Yevarech es haneharim, Vayikra behem shemi, V'shem avosai, V'shem avosai, Avram v'Yitzchak v'Yigul Arov b'kerev ha'aretz. Okay, if my singing didn't scare you off and you're still there, what does it mean? So Hamalach hagoel osi is may the Malach, may the angel who redeems me from all evil bless the young, the young boys, the young children here, which is Ephraim and Menashe, and may my name, Hashem saying, may my name be declared upon them. So just as I declared my name upon Abraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov, also, so Yaakov was passing the blessing to Yosef and his sons, and the names of my fathers Abraham and Yitzhak, Abraham and Isaac, and may they reproduce, may they have many children like fish within the land. So the fish are underwater, the fish swim around in the mayim, in the water, and the mayim is compared to Torah. So you blessing to be always swimming in the waters of the Torah, the ruchnias, the spirituality of the Torah, even on dry land, even in the gullus, even in exile where you're not surrounded by Torah, may you always be immersed in the Torah, and may the blessing, that was given from Hashem to Abraham and Yitzhak, to Abraham and Yitzhak, Abraham and Isaac, and then Yitzhak gave it to Yaakov. Yitzhak blessed Yaakov with that power, a blessing, and now he's passing that power of blessing forward to Yosef and to his sons Ephraim and Menashe. So we see this is one of the great powers of the Jewish people. This is one of our spiritual inheritances, the ability to bring bracha, blessing, into the world, and it's a special thing. And we've inherited this power to give blessings to people from the Avos, from Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And it's a great power, and it's so important that David HaMelech, King David, instituted that a Jewish person should do 100 blessings a day, 100 brachos a day. And we can make simple brachas, on the food, and we make, of course, the 18, and then they added the extra one, the 19 brachas during Shemona Esrei when we daven, and there's brachas around the Kriya Shema, and we're making, brachas all day. We're making brachas on the Torah, and but we have a special ability just to bless other people. And Hashem listens to the blessings of the Jewish people, and it's a great ability to bring good into the world and to elevate others around us. And if people need refuah shlema, if they need to be healed from sickness, if they're having trouble with parnas, if they're having trouble earning a living, give them the bracha of earning money. And there's many brachas we can give. If someone's sad, give them the bracha of simcha, of happiness. And our job is to go around the world and look for who needs bracha, who needs blessing, who needs to be elevated. And that's some part of our spiritual inheritance. And the malach, Rashi says that malach is malach haragio lehish taleach elai. The malach who Hashem sent to me, who sent to me all the time, b'tzarasi, in my distress, in my times of trouble, ke'inyan shnamor, like the matter which has been written in the Torah, vayomer elai malach ha'elokim b'chalom, and the angel of God said to me in the dream. So Hashem has malachim just waiting at our beck and call to bring bracha into the world, to bring blessing into the world. But the special thing about Menashe and Ephraim, it shows the brotherly love. It shows the mitzvah of v'achavta l're'echa kamocha. Love your friend like yourself. That Rabbi Akiva says the klal gadol of the Torah. It's the great rule of the Torah. And it's the great rule of life. First, love yourself. Have self-esteem. Feel good about yourself. You are created in the image of Hashem. You have a tzelem Elokim. You created in this amazing, image of Hashem's name, and you can do great kindness and bring great blessing into the world. But the amazing thing here is we see in the relationship between Yaakov and Esav, Jacob and Esau, that when Yaakov saw that Esav did not want to follow in the ways of Abraham and Yitzhak, when he didn't want to follow in the ways of the Torah, when he didn't want to listen to Hashem and follow the mitzvos, and perform the mitzvos, that Yaakov, sold, he got Esav to sell his birthright, because his birthright, his Bechor, meant nothing to him. The firstborn birthright meant nothing to Esav, and he sold it first for just like a little bowl of red lentil soup, because it meant so little to him. And then I think Yaakov went on to give him money. Then Yaakov wrestles with the Yetzer Hara, the Malach of Esav, the angel of Esav. And Esav and his descendants, they go on and they found the Roman Empire and the great military power of the world, and Yitzhak gave them the blessing to live by the sword. But Yaakov follows in the ways of Abraham and Yitzhak, and he's passing this down to Joseph and his sons. And we see in Ephraim and Menashe the difference. Because, as Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai says, halacha, Esav sone Yaakov. It's a halacha. It's a halacha that Esav hates Yaakov. And we saw this horrible hatred all throughout Jewish history the hatred of Esav, the hatred of the Roman Empire when they burned down the first temple in Jerusalem and Jerusalem, the hatred of the Crusades, and the Inquisitions, and the Holocaust, Chas v'Shalom, and the anti-Semitism rising again, and Chas v'Shalom, the hatred that we may see coming soon in the wars of Gog and Magog, the hatred of Esav. But here, where Menashe, the firstborn, or his younger brother Ephraim, so this is the first, the grandchildren of Yaakov, of Yisrael, the Jewish people, not even the sons, not even the Shvatim, not even the tribes, but these two grandsons, Ephraim and Menashe, are made in this Parsha. Yaakov says, you will be like Reuven and Shimon. You will be tribes, and they are, and they become part of the tribes of the Jewish people. And we see something incredible. So we didn't see Menashe hates and wants to kill Ephraim because Ephraim, his younger brother gets, the blessing of the Bechor and gets Shechem, gets the special city of Shechem. Oh, Yosef got the city of Shechem, sorry. But we see that Menashe loves his younger brother, and he protects his younger brother. And when his younger brother gets elevated and gets this blessing, he's happy for him and he loves him. And that is such a great quality of unifying the Jewish people. And that's why we bless our sons to be like this. But the amazing thing about Menashe is he is that unifying force in the Jewish people, because he's happy for other Jews when they do well, even at his own expense. Even though that Ephraim gets the greater blessing, Menashe's greatness is that even though the kings will come from Ephraim, Menashe brings almost a more important quality of the Jewish people, of the unification, of the brotherly love between brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, grandparents and grandchildren of the Jewish people. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu, that's why Moses, blessed, sorry, not blessed, but he separates Menashe onto two sides of the Jordan. So when the tribes of Gad, Reuven and Gad, moved to the east side, the east bank of the Jordan River, in modern day Jordan, and when the rest of the tribes live on the west bank, the west side of the Jordan River, modern day Eretz Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, takes Menashe and splits the tribe of Menashe into two and puts half of them on the east side and half of them on the west side. And the great unifying power of Menashe to unify, to keep the Jewish people together, even though they're living on two separate sides of the Jordan River. And that beautiful quality of Menashe of love and unification is what we desperately need in the Jewish people. And we need to be happy for each other. And we need to bring bracha and blessing into the world. And even if we're, we see, even if we're filled with din and judgment, and that's we're on the left side, and that's more like what our normal thing. But we can see that we can get the blessing from the right side, just like Ephraim got, and the kings and Mashiach and Yosef will come from that. And Menashe, who's already on that side of Chesed, he can unify to bring the side of judgment and sternness and all that, and justice, back to the side of kindness and Chesed. And the fact that Menashe is just so happy for his brother, and it's not lifelong animosity. It's not lifelong, maybe halakha that Menashe ahava Ephraim, that Menashe, it's a halakha that, Menashe loves his brother Ephraim. And that's the great quality, and that is why we bless our children, our sons, on Shabbos night, with this blessing, be like, Ephraim and Menashe. Okay, so maybe all be like the Avos and the Amakos, the fathers and the mothers of the Jewish people, and may we have that love for each other like Ephraim and Menashe, and may we soon see the coming of Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David and Vayechi, and may the Jewish people live just as Yaakov Avinu lives. Vayechi and Am Yisrael Chai. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a Shabbat Shalom, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.